everyone, sorry about the delay. Namaste, I am Garima Bhandari and I welcome everyone to my session today. I hope everybody is all rejuvenated and you had your last meal at least 2 hours prior. So today's session is, as the name says, reboot, reset, rejuvenate. So all these re words are to reiterate that we also need to recharge, just like we recharge our phone, just like we recharge our laptop. So similar is our body and mind, which also needs that reset button to be put on. And yoga is a wonderful way to invite that spiritual invocation and also with a little bit of mindful movement and fluid movement and a little bit of soothing stretching. We also do some breathing exercises to allow that reset button to start in our system. Great, so I'm so happy to have everyone here join with us today. So we're going to sit in Sukhasana, which is a steady, comfortable posture. So you can sit in any position you like, cross-legged position, and we're going to start with the yogic breathing. So yogic breathing is nothing but deep diaphragmatic breathing. I always say this before every class so that the reiteration power is such that it has a lot of recall value. So the more I say it, the more you will remember. So every time you will breathe, you will remember, it will ring like a bell in your mind that okay, Garima talked about yogic breathing. So instead of the normal breathing, the shallow breathing, you will start invariably practicing the deep diaphragmatic breathing. Alright, so to sit in Sukhasana, we keep the integrity of the spine absolutely straight and keeping the hands on our knees like this in Sukhasana, and you can place your hands just comfortably open towards the universe. I'm going to harness the universe energy and bring it towards your body. So we inhale from the nose, nasal passage only to use for the yogic breathing. Throughout the practice, we're going to breathe in and breathe out through our nose. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Really make your breathing audible, as I always say. So make the sound audible to you and exhale. 3 more times. Inhale and exhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. People are speaking so much about stress these days. So I would like to say that everybody is unique and everybody has different stresses in their life. So, yes, hi?
No voice.
No voice? Can you hear me?
We are able to hear something wrong in your voice.
Sorry?
We are able to hear something wrong, looks like money is there.
Okay, everybody is able to hear it. Please give me a heads up. Should I continue?
Yes, it is very clear.
So I should continue?
Yes, Karima, please continue.
Great. So I was talking about the stress part. So we need to understand that what is stress actually. It is just that so many things get compiled up in our life, and those things are that we cannot essentially change. Can you stop paying your bills? You keep worrying about, oh my god, I have to pay my credit card bill, I have to pay my that bill, this bill. But will you ever stop paying it if you think of it? No, you will not. And there's so many other relationship stress is, family stress is, work-life balance, family balance. We keep that so much around us. We keep ourselves engulfed in so much stress that we actually forget completely about the me time and forget to put ourselves into that recharge and reset. So that is why yoga practice is a wonderful way to get started. And let's start the practice with a spiritual invocation of the Om chant. The dhwani of the Om chant is very, very soothing and relaxing to the mind. So we inhale and exhale out with the Om chant. Once more, inhale. Last one, inhale. Great. Gently dropping your neck to the right shoulder with the support of your hand. Please try to open the tension from the neck area. That's where we actually store a lot of our stress. Apart from our hips, we tend to store a lot of our stresses and tension on our neck. Both sides, dropping the neck forward, taking it back, and just doing some turns. So left to right, right to left, trying to tuck the chin to the chest each time it visits the center. Full circles, clockwise, counterclockwise. 2 more times. Great. Diagonally stretch your arm to the right side and create this resistance from your palm, pushing the palm inward like this, while the left arm is going to push your palm outward. Create this resistance and feel a full arm stretch here. Right side, same stretch. Awesome. Let's do the Kanda Sanchalan. So rolling your shoulders round for at least 10 times. Unidirection for 10 times. And counter direction for another 10 times. Really make those circles from your shoulders, opening the entire area, warming up, I would say. Great. Taking the right arm back like this and left arm goes back, and try to really give a point of contact between the fingertips of both the palms like this, or if you can interlace them together. Feel a deep stretch. Do not drop this elbow here. Keep it perpendicular to your head at the side. Completely releases the tension in the upper back area and opens both the shoulders at the same time. Super. Keep the right hand on the right side of your right hip and drop the left hand towards the right side by dropping the right ear to your right shoulder like this. Feel an entire body stretch on the left side. Other side. Slow breathing. Invite the breath to really come and enter your body here, and then from here we are going to sit in Vajrasana. Now if Vajrasana is challenging for you, I'm carrying so many props today. My favorite is the cushion. So you're going to place this right under your hips here, and you can elevate and put one more cushion here and feel yourself more supported. The idea of this practice is to always feel supported and not let the body go where it does not want to go. Remember, I said we're going to do very fluid and soothing movements here. No pushing, no forcing. Forcing shuts everything, and we're trying to allow ourselves to be a beginner here. Great. So from Vajrasana, I'm going to just place my hands behind my hips like this, and then lifting the heart. Now you do not drop back like this. You have to lift your heart like this, pull back your shoulders, draw them behind, and then drop your neck back and feel a mild stretch in your entire spinal column. Excellent back strengthening posture. Variation of Ushtrasana or the camel pose. We're trying to just release tension from here. Dropping the neck, or you can keep your chin perpendicular to the floor, whichever way you like. Just try to open and invite the breath to visit the empty spaces of your spinal vertebra here. Inhale. I personally like all the heart opener practices because heart opener allows us to open the heart towards other people and have feelings of empathy, kindness and compassion. And that is the need of the hour. And yoga is like a one size fits all. So there is no small, extra small or medium. This is like one stop shop as they call it. It has no biases. Come back in a nice tabletop position where the knees are stacked under your hips and the arms are perpendicular to the shoulders like this on the floor, and keeping the toes really out and pointed. Let's do a little cat cow before we move on further with the practice. So I always love cat cow to warm up the entire body. Inhale, send your chin up, open the heart. Exhale, round the spine, pull it under. Cat, really how the cat does meow and does this stretch. So trying to feel like a cat here. And inhale, go up. Inhale, go up, deep inhale, exhale. Once again, practice this Ujjayi breath with your movement. The most important vital elements of your practice is your bandhas, which are the abdominal lock and other locks that we practice during the course of a practice. Second is your Ujjayi breathing or the victorious breathing that I taught you in the start, that you have to sync with your movement. And third is your vision, which is your drishti. So these things, three things combined together with your asana practice is going to establish that symbiotic relationship between your mind and your body, a stronger connection, so that you start understanding the meaning, true meaning of self-reliance and self-care, and telling yourself every day that I am enough is only going to help. Great. Now from here, I'm going to just take my left hand in the same position and just needle it through this passage that I've created here. So I'm going to just slide it or swim it under and then drop my face on the floor. Excellent hip opener, stretching the entire back and opening the shoulder greatly while extremely calming for your brain. Extremely therapeutic posture. So open and really feel that good stretch, and if you feel that you cannot elevate your hips like that and it's too much for your knees to take, you're more than welcome to drop your hips on your heels like this and slide this through. And those of you who are comfortable can send your hips up, really lengthen and elongate that spine up, and just gently stay here for 5 breaths. Four, 5. Awesome job. Gonna take a break, take a breather. I invite you to take a pause, a moment in Balasana or child's pose, and place your forehead on the floor. If you're a beginner, you're more than welcome to use a block in front of you to place your forehead here and just stay. Keep breathing. postures is between your eyebrows or the ajna chin. Come back up, come back in the tabletop position, and right hand swims under this indent that we created, and the face drops here, and this time we're going to stay for another 5 long breaths. Deep rhythmic breathing. Inhale. I must tell you an honest confession that this is my personal favorite routine. Like when I'm really time pressed and I'm doing multiple classes and I have no time left for my practice, these are the stretches I definitely do, even if it means that I do them in the comfort of my bed. So these are my favorite stretches. So it's revealed now, there is no secret. Great, so I'm going to lie down now and melt down my body to the floor like this, and just we're going to begin with Ardha Pavan Mukta Asana, so half Pavan Mukta Asana, excellent for people who have any digestive disorders and who cannot practice like the fancy super flexible yoga poses. So this is an extremely nice option for them. So you just bring your knee closer to your chest like this, and then roll back your spine up and feel that compression in your digestive glands. All your abdominals engaged, shoulders open, spine curled, toes pointed out to really engage the legs, and bring yourself up, lift yourself up towards the knees. Now you don't have to go out of the way, just respect and honor wherever your body allows you to. Maybe as a beginner you're just coming here, it is totally fine. Just listen to your body. Come, squeeze, let the other leg be placed firmly on the floor here like this, and then we take the other leg here, pull it towards our body like so. Awesome job. I love Pavan Mukta Asana, and I make sure that even my kids do it. And best part about this asana is that other than your digestive disorders, it also works greatly on any kind of back stiffness. So if I have little bit of low back cramps, or I have been standing or sitting all day, so I just come on my bed, come on my mat and just do this posture, and I feel so rejuvenated. So today's exercise is, all the movements that we're going to do, the soothing movements, are only about resetting and rebooting our entire body and our mind. Great. Now this time let's try both the knees coming together to our chest like this, hugging ourselves tightly, warm hug, telling yourself, I did a good job, I'm strong, I'm positive, I feel good about myself, and I'm going to take care of my body. This is the only place I live in. Great. Leave down and melt down to the floor. Understanding that, compiling yourself with way too much work than what you can handle is also the biggest reason of the stress. So very important in life is to focus on the right time management, what you can really do, and what is your priority versus what you just do to please others. And in that process you actually jeopardize and drain out a lot of your energy, and eventually you're the one who suffer from stress. And stress really wrecks and creates a huge havoc on your emotional equilibrium. And people say that mental health is different and physical health is different, but I completely feel that if you're emotionally not balanced, your physical health is going to suffer, your appetite is going to suffer, your sleep quality is going to deteriorate, and further you are not going to be healthy. So it's very important to take care of your emotional health, to take care of your physical well-being. Great. So from here, from Pavan Mukta Asana, I'm going to put my right toe on, right heel I would say, on my left knee like this, creating a figure 4 here, and my head is going to be down, but to speak to you I have to say, I have to raise it and elevate it. And then from here, once again I created this space here. I call this needle. So I'm going to needle my thread here. My hand is my thread, this is the needle. So the thread goes in like this, and this toe is pointed. I'm going to hug my knee like this and bring it as close as I can towards my face, and this time I'm going to be lifting my face. Now what happens to this knee? This knee, we have to create this resistance without much pushing. So what we're trying to do is, we're trying to push it away from the body while this knee is trying to resist and bring this feet closer to our body. Now this is this resisting movement that we have to practice in this kind of a stretch. So needle goes inside. So easy, otherwise the needle, the thread takes forever. So bringing the forehead to the knee like this. Take 5 breaths. Make your breathing really audible. I won't stop repeating this over and over again. Very, very important to listen to the sound of your oceanic breath, because that is the way you actually bring your entire focus to the present moment. Great. So now the other leg goes up like this. The left one, same resistant motion here. Now the needle goes here, and this time the right leg comes forward. Few of my favorite stretches that I'm showing you, and they are a must for the whole body to really open up, and it really sends that fresh influx of oxygen to almost all body parts. This is what I do. Great. So now we come back to the neutral position after 5 breaths, and this time I'm going to be extending my arms on the either side like this. Make sure that your shoulders are firmly placed on the floor here, and then you're going to make a 90-degree angle from your legs like this by bending your knees. Toes are going to be pointed and active, and then dropping the knees on the floor. Activation in your entire spine and side body, right from the big toe all the way to the fingertips of your left arm, and the vision goes towards the opposite side. So this time my knees are towards the right side, so my face will go towards the opposite side to feel that extra stretch. Make sure that your other side body doesn't get lifted like this. It has to be firmly placed on the floor. So inhale and take 5 breaths. Awesome job, you guys. Then the knee comes to the center, and this time it's going to get dropped to the left side, and my vision is going to be coming towards you guys. So just take 5 long breaths here. If your knees are not able to touch the floor, it's fine. Use your favorite prop, your cushion or your pillow or your bolster, whatever's with you, whatever works for you. But try to keep both the shoulders firmly on the floor here. So as I was talking about compiling so much of your work and actually sinking yourself in so many deadlines, and then if you have a habit of procrastinating, not being able to do justice to it, and then eventually that leads to a lot of stress. If your schedule is helter-skelter, you're always hustling, you're not able to give time to family, and in that guilt trip you have so much stress. So saying no is also a big art. So why do I say art? Because a lot of people just don't know how to say no to things, to people, to circumstances that do not have or add any value to your life. So that's why it's an art, and to say no takes a lot, but once you do, you definitely feel good. Coming to your mat, on your stomach here this time, and we're going to start with some back opening to stretch our entire back. First things first, we're going to just lie down here with the chin on the floor, toes pointing out, and then from here we're going to do Bhujanga. So the elbows are stacked next to my body, my rib cage here, and I just come up like this as much as I can. Maybe I just come up right here, it's fine. I just have to open my upper back here. So just open up slightly as much as you can. Yes, wonderful. And just stay drishti towards your nose. So stay for 5 long breaths. Keep your toes pointed out. Okay, now curl your toes, push the floor away from you and come into a plank posture like this. And from plank posture, we slowly slide the hips up to an awesome downward dog. And if you're a beginner, you can come and point, like balance your weight on your toes here like this, bending your knees, and just do a left-right paddling in your downward dog. So you go left, you go right, you go left, you go right, and really squeeze your abdominals. Put that lock in your abdominals, your Uddiyana Bandha as we call it, and this kind of stretching is really going to work on melting your belly fat and squeezing your abdominals while the head is over the heart, so the blood flow is getting redirected back to your heart. So staying here for long breaths, guys. Really focus on your breathing. Breathing is the most important, I won't say part of yoga practice, but breathing is the most important yoga. Drishti towards your toes. You should be able to listen to the sound of your own breath. Two more. Awesome. Now from here, you're going to gently send your right leg up like this as much as you can. Come on your toes from your left leg, send the right leg up and then curl it towards your chest, and then pointing the toe out, you're going to place it between the hands like this. Pigeon stretch. The hip will not be lifted like this. Hip has to be placed on the floor like this. Now what happens to the behind leg? So from behind leg, you're going to make as if, imagine there's a straight line and you have to walk your toe in that line. So how are you going to walk? You're going to walk, then come. You're going to walk, then come. Walk, then come. So that this hip is placed also firmly on the floor, and take the help of a cushion. Feel free to take the help of a cushion to place it here or the other side hip, wherever you feel that you need that support, or under your knee. Just place it here, whichever way you feel feels good, just do that. Okay, so we are here and now my toe is also pointing out, and now what do? I lift my spine completely. I'm not going to be dropped like this. I try to walk back my hands and lift my spine as much as I can. And lower body stretch, upper body stretch, and excellent for people with postural deviation. Staying here for 5 long breaths. Drishti towards the tip of the nose, as we call it in yoga, Nasagra Drishti. Now people who want to feel an extra stretch here should actually come forward and pivot from their hip crease and just go forward, forward, and try to place your forehead on the ground. If it is challenging, please stop anywhere in between. Great. Walk back your hands, walk back your hands. And then we go back to a nice downward dog. Once again, like this. This time, the right leg is going to go up and it's going to bend from the knee, pointing the toe out, and it comes in middle of the arms. Here, firmly placed, walk back the right toe, giving it direction of one single straight line, so that the other hip is also placed firmly on the floor. And then stay here for 5 long breaths by lengthening your spine. Sending your breath to the spine. Slightly constrict your throat when you take this breath. Go forward and say 5 breaths. Walk back and slowly come back to your center and we sit in Dandasana. Now this is going to be the last stretch of the day before we move on to our pranayama practice. So we're going to practice pranayama today. So when we sit in Dandasana and we're not going to drop back or slouch back, we're going to lift through our core. So lift through our core by locking the abdominal, base lock, Mooladhara lock, Uddiyana Bandha, everything locked, navel towards the spine and tucked up, and then we go forward. So both the sit bones are equidistant, weight distributed equally. Then folding the right leg like this as near to your body as you can, and placing the right hand behind your hip like this, and the left hand comes on the right side of your left knee. Staying here, activation in the spine. So the right hand goes not this side or the outer edge of your knee like this. Push it inside the knee while the knee is pushing your elbow out, and that is the resistance we are creating here. And we go back. So this is my right leg and right hand is back, and the opposite hand is on the side. So this is the resistance, and then we look back over the right shoulder here and we take 5 breaths. Excellent spinal twist, sending the breath, really squeezing the abdominals. I love these twists and binds that we practice in yoga, squeezing all the toxins from your body and working greatly on increasing your immunity and strengthening your lung capacity. Yoga practice not just gives you overall health, but it also gives you a lot of vigor, strength, flexibility, longevity, vitality, all at the same time while increasing your focus, your coordination and memory power. Okay, taking my right hand up this time and tucking it here onto the left side of my left knee and looking back from the right side and staying 5 breaths. The other leg toe has to be flexed towards your body, not left loose, so that the right leg is also engaged. So point. So I'm going to show you my toe is nicely flexed towards my body, not left loose. Five. All right. Awesome. So these are the stretches. This is like my quick fix. So when I'm stressed or I have too much going on and I just feel that I can't do it all, there's too much on my platter. So this is my quick fix. I really need to breathe it out, breathe strong. I also say no to things that I don't want to do. I'm firm about it. And I also take out my me time, whether it is just enjoying that one single meal by myself. All the 3 meals need not necessarily be with your family members. You can take that one single time. And as I said, that yoga is the best solution to send that breath inside your body with these mindful, soothing stretches and movements. Okay, so now we're going to practice Bhramari Pranayama, which is excellent way to reboot and rejuvenate and really restore back your entire energy. It really channelizes the prana flow in your body. And if I have to say that one pranayama which really works holistically, if people ask me that, what is that one thing we can do in yoga which can work on our immunity also, I want to feel like completely mind free, like I don't want any kind of stress, which is that one thing that can really mitigate this stress part. So I would say that is Bhramari Pranayama. If you can master Bhramari Pranayama, then you're really working on your immunity also, and you're throwing away all the toxins from your body and working on calming your mind also. So we sit in Sukhasana, we extend our arms like this, and we have to take the arms and place them in Shanmukhi Mudra, but it's fine. We're just going to place the fingers, the palms on the eyes like this. The eyes are going to be shut. Now everybody, you see this cartilage here, so we're going to press this with our thumbs like this, and we're going to create this sound of buzzing bee. So how a buzzing bee sound is like do that buzz sound. So we're going to press this on exhalation. We inhale from the nose, we cover the eyes, and we're going to gently, like there's no pushing, you're not going to dig inside your cartilage. You're just going to press it very softly and inhale and just press and make that sound from your throat on exhalations. First watch me before doing it. So press the cartilage, cover the eyes and inhale. And while exhaling, make that sound. That's one round. So we're going to do this 5 times in total. So I go again, press the ears, close my eyes and inhale. I guarantee each and everyone who's practicing right now that by the end of the 5th Bhramari pranayama practice that you do, your mind will be completely blank. You will not have anybody on your mind, and you will really be calm and composed. So we inhale. You see my smile getting wider and wider with as we are ascending with the number of the Bhramari Pranayama. Even my kids love this, and irrespective of age, everybody should practice this pranayama every day, irrespective of the time. We go once again. Inhale. go again. Inhale. Notice for a moment, how does it feel? Do you feel recharged, revamped, and re-energized? And this is a moment where is the best time to connect within your own self and just put along everybody on the sideline. This is your time for yourself that you have taken out. So that means you're already in sync with your own self. You love yourself as much as you love others. Take a moment. And from here we can try to sit in Padmasana. Just extend your legs in front of you like this in Dandasana. And we're trying to fold our body and really take out or squeeze out any kind of lymphatic drainage that is blocked in your lower leg or lower peripheries. So this is the best way to do that. So trying to open this right leg. So we can try a gentle hip opener here, Shishupālasana. So placing the right heel on the indent of your left elbow, and just like you hold a baby, you're going to rock the baby. So Shishupālasana, or rock the baby side to side, very gentle movement. You're not going to aggressive. That's not the idea. You're just going how you're going to rock the baby and put the baby to sleep. So that way, and try to get the leg as closer to your chest as you can, to your heart chakra. Slowly, gentle rocking movement. Awesome job. And let it go. Left side. So left side comes on the right hand like this, interlacing your fingers, and just go left, right, like this. I'm showing you all my favorite asanas today. This is like, okay, nothing is lost. That's it. Great. Now from here we're going to try out the Padmasana. So let's start with the Ardha Padmasana. So Ardha Padmasana, we go and take the right heel first and place it on the left side. Every time we try Padmasana, we're always going to start with the right side, while the left leg is still extended in front of us. So we take the heel and place it as close to our abdomen as possible, with the heel touching the base of your pelvic floor muscles. But if you are new to practice, you're more than welcome to let it be wherever it is. Even if this is a gap, even my knee till date, right knee never touches the ground, which is fine. We are not here to prove any point to anyone. So we take the right knee like this, and then the left knee can go in Ardha Padmasana. It can go like this under your right knee. But if you feel like trying the full expression of the posture, then you really take the right heel and place it cross-legged like this on both stacked on top of each other like this. Placing the hands in Jnana Mudra, like here, chin to the base of your throat. So we lock the Jalandhara Bandha, and now all the chakras in your body are active, all the locks are intact, the legs are intertwined, and your spine is erect and straight. drishti or the vision is towards the tip of your nose. 5 deep long breaths. Awesome. If try to now send your left hand back like this and try to grab your left toe if you can from the back, and if you cannot, just place it wherever it goes. Same goes for the right hand. It swims back and it catches your left toe like this. Then straighten your back. Inhale. And if you cannot grab them, just place your hands like this behind. Inhale, straighten your spine. Don't scoop it like that. Straighten, lift your heart, lift your spine in one straight line. Try to come forward, hold like this. Now if you reach here and cannot touch the floor, just stay wherever you can. There is no competition. Just have to honor and listen to your body. 5 long breaths. Feel the compression in your abdominals. Strong. Awesome job. Let's add the arm balance to this finishing sequence. So we're going to place the arms on the right side here and lifting the knees first before we lift the hips. And if we cannot, we are just going to lift one part, keeping the knees on the floor. Try to elevate the hips, or keep the hips on the floor. Try to elevate the legs. Whichever way works for you. Or if you feel like trying out, press the floor away and lift the entire body like this. Stay for 5 breaths. Yes, I promise, last 2. And relax. Awesome job, everyone. Great. So we have next 5 minutes, and I request you all to just lie down on the floor in Shavasana so that you can get the benefits of the practice that we did today, and also really soak in and imprint like your body on the floor as if you are to imprint a tattoo of your body on the floor. So really melt down towards the floor. Do not force your breathing. I'm going to guide you through. So just relax and lie down and shut your eyes. Shut your eyes not from the light around you, but here you're trying to find the light inside you, inside your body, inside your mind, and draw the attention and awareness inwards. Now here we're not going to practice any Ujjayi breathing. We're just trying to stay and let the breath come inside and go out in the most natural way. Let it stay. Focus on your breath completely. I'm going to be coming to the question and answers, but right now you just have to focus on yourself. It's time you praise yourself that you took out the time to honor your body, to honor your mind today, irrespective of your hectic schedule. Self-care is the most important part of our life, an integral part of our existence, which teaches us every day a lot about our self-esteem, a lot about ourselves. your body as a guiding light, a light that leads you from the outside world towards the inner realms of your consciousness. You see that light in between your eyebrows. Just try to bring all your attention there. Once again, come back to your breath. It's coming in and going out of your body in the most natural way. Honor it, respect it. It is the very base of your existence. Feel it flowing fluidly throughout your body. Starts from your eyes, traveling to your nose, to your cheeks and your chin, relaxing your heart, filling it with kindness and compassion towards the other species who share this planet with you, giving them their equal respect while honoring your own self. Let this guiding light take you towards your strong arms, which work throughout the day to bring you food, to bring you life. Traveling towards your palms, and coming back to your entire abdomen. Traveling towards your thighs, your knees, bringing the energy to your calves, being thankful to your spine and your legs, which help you to stand and walk throughout the day, to your feet, to your ankles, to your fingertips. And slowly letting you release and leave everything that you don't own. Understanding that letting go is the way to be. Trusting yourself every day. Trusting your decision making. And once again, with an inhale, to send out a prayer to the whole world that may the world be free of suffering and may the world be at peace. And if you want, you may just relax in this Shavasana here, and if you have any specific questions, I'm right here, and I thank each and every one for joining me in this wonderful session today. It's been an honor that so many people are joining the session every day and enjoying my sessions. So it is a wonderful reward for me. Anybody has any questions, you're free to ask me. I'm right here.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions in the chat box. I'll read it out to you.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'll also share the poll so that they can keep giving the feedback as and when we are doing the feedback question and answer session.
Yes,
So
please.
I have with everyone, and I request all the IP employees to please share your valuable feedback. This not to know how much we can improve and where better we can do. Alright. The first question is from Varsha. She says, "Hi Garima, want to know when Surya Namaskar should be done, before or after in a session?"
Okay, hi Varsha, thank you for your question. Surya Namaskar should always be done in the start of the yoga practice, never in the end, because in the end we always do the finishing sequence and end the practice with lying down posture, supine postures and Shavasana towards the end. Surya Namaskar is like a warm up posture, standing warm up posture. If you're not doing the sitting warm up posture, you can start with Surya Namaskar.
Alright. The next question we have is from Shikha Sharma. She says, "Hi Garima, how should I sequence yoga poses in my practice on a daily basis?"
Hi Shikha, thank you for your question. You can, depending on actually how much time you have, so you can start with at least 2 or 3 Surya Namaskars and gentle sitting postures and then gentle lying down postures, and then you can melt in Shavasana. This is a 15-20 minute practice, and in between this whole process, please don't forget to practice this Ujjayi breathing if you do not have any time for pranayama. But if you have time for pranayama, these days summer is an excellent time to practice Shitli pranayama and the Brahmari pranayama that I just taught you. This is also an excellent way to add in your daily practice.
Alright. The next question is again from Shikha. She's asking, what pose can you instant stress?
Sorry?
What pose can relieve you instantly from any stress?
Instantly, a quick fix is just breathing in and breathing out. The deep diaphragmatic breathing that I keep harping about, it's your Ujjayi breath, your victorious breath. We're trying to have victory over your own breathing to stop the fluctuations of a mind, and the fluctuations only lead you towards the stressful path.
Alright. The next question is actually to visit. Ramakrishna, we have already gotten the to share the recording. So we are kind of setting up a platform currently, and it will be made available only to all activities. So we have already started to work on that. We have some editing and minor work to do before we actually release it. I hope that is a bit. The next question is from Ripal Shah. How to control allergies, bronchitis in yoga? Any specific yoga pranayama you would suggest?
How to control?
Allergies, bronchitis using yoga.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have practiced this before, but Jal Neti is an excellent way to clear out any of the eyes, ears, nose, throat related disorders, bronchitis, chest congestion, difficulty in breathing, if you have constant cough, flu, sinusitis, ear pain, eyesight issues, stress related issues. Jal Neti is the excellent way to clear out all the sinusitis from your system. And if you want to see how to do Jal Neti, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. You can find the video Garima Bhandari Jal Neti. That is really a helpful video, and it will help you step by step procedure. What are the do's and don'ts before, after, during the process? How can you do it? So it will definitely help you.
Right. And Manish says, "Thank you, Garima. After attending 5 to 6 sessions by you, I can hold up to 10 to 15 seconds."
Oh wow, thank you. That's really wonderful of you to say that. I'm so happy to hear that. Practice always makes progress, so we're not aiming perfection. There is nothing called perfection. There's always progress. So I'm so happy to see the progress. Alright.
Thank you, Garima.
Thank you so much, Manish.
Alright, Garima, I think this brings us to an end of the session. Thank you so much again. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you, Visit. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, for all those who attended the session today and felt you really liked Garima's sessions, we have 3 more sessions of Garima's coming up in the next week. That will be the last 3 sessions of the program. So I kindly request all of you to recommend this to your colleagues so that we have more people joining in at least in the last week of the program. And the next session is from R.K. Shah on Monday from 5 to 6 on how to quit sugar for life.
Thank you, Pawan. Thank you, Prabhat, Shiva, Avadesh, Srinivas, Jaspinder, Anshul, Sumit, so many people, oh my god, online. And I just wanted to ask you guys that how did you enjoy the session, and if you have any feedback to give or any question to ask me, I'm right here. You can ask me here. Anupam, Gagandeep, Hari Krishna, Vinod, Vinesh, Amit, Mahesh, Soma, Yogesh, and anybody, Duru from Religate, Sayed. So anybody who wants to practice further with me can like my page on Facebook. It's called Garima Bhandari. On YouTube, my channel is called Garima Bhandari, and you can follow me on my Instagram. It's called Garima Bhandari Official. I'll be so happy to see you guys connecting with me. And if you want to ask me any question related to yoga right now, you're more than welcome to ask. We have last 1 minute. Thank you everyone for joining my session today, and I hope you guys stay happy, stay healthy. Take care. Namaste.